Hey everyone, welcome to another stream on this channel. I think it's about time that we do another one. The last one is, I think, 3 months ago. Anyway, I see already a full room in the chat. Great to have you, everyone. To begin with, for the replay watchers, I will leave a link in the description for a best of video that I will do next week. If you are watching the replay, and look in the description. If the link is already there, then you can basically watch the short version. And in the meantime, until it is up, I will leave a timestamp in this description as well, where you can start watching the interesting part of this live stream, so you can skip the first part that is for the people who are watching right now. Welcome everyone. So cool to see you all. How you doing? Smart public speaker. You're new, right, to the channel? Welcome. Arvin, how you doing? I'm SEO King. You joined new to my channel as well. Great to see you here again. Super user, TechMods, how you doing? You're one of the oldest subscribers that I have, right? I think we date a year or two even back. By the way, that you're one of the valuable subscribers that I have. We will see in this live stream today that active subscribers are really important for the success of a channel. And for that, I appreciate you and everyone else who is already here on this channel for years. Lewis, how you doing? Sesko, you're new, right? Welcome. And Sam Eric, I think, I know you for quite some time already. UK, here we grow. How you doing, old friend? Yeah, the cup is from Costa Rica. That's one of my favorite ones, with a great image here. Even if you look into the inside, but I don't want to spill anything now. So there's a nice picture in it. All right, Doc Rock, how are you doing? Hamiltonville Farm. Nice, welcome. You're doing videos about farming in general? Oftentimes I see people, using YouTube as an addition to your business, so to say, which I find really great. I do the same, right? All right, DJ Treasure, how you doing? Kate, how you doing? Tony, you're new as well. Welcome. All right, so big house. I'm really glad that you're all joined today. I realized that someone told me there is a holiday this Monday, so many people are in the US, by the way, are away with their families. So I didn't expect that many, to be frank. All right, you know what? Let's get right into it. What is the purpose of the stream today? The goal is to trigger all the algorithms that YouTube has, right? Ideally, like we do in YouTube search, right? We have YouTube SEO. Many of you know the SEO tool that I provide with Morningfame. What we do there with the SEO, we actively trigger the YouTube search algorithm. Yeah, what we do, the optimization ensures that the YouTube search algorithm promotes our videos in search. That is actively triggering these algorithms. But how about the other algorithms? I wonder. I mean, we have suggested videos, we have home, notifications, trending, and so on, right? And we don't really know what we could do in order to actively trigger those algorithms. Most of the times, actually, it's rather that it is based on luck. Some video got really successful and it blew up. It does well in many different algorithms. And we oftentimes don't really know precisely why that happened. And as you know, I started an algorithm series on this channel. So I studied each and every aspect in order to understand how far can we stretch it and how far can we acquire new knowledge so that we know what to do in order to trigger those different algorithms. And I have to say, we don't have answers yet, like definite answers. We know a lot towards that goal. And yeah, I want to discuss with you how much we know already, how much we probably are missing still. And that's based on your questions. I really look forward to your feedback so that I have ideas what to study next in order to get to this goal even closer. And as you probably know, with the YouTube SEO and the keyword research tool that I built, we pretty much have it covered for the YouTube search algorithm. It works really well. We know the best practices of YouTube SEO bring us far. Small and large channels can apply it to grow their channels. It's kind of a done deal, so to say. And I think a half a year back or so, I extended the keyword tool to include Google search as well, which is not a YouTube algorithm, obviously, but also an algorithm that would be very important for us. And it turns out with the YouTube SEO and a little bit of extra looking at the Google search results, we can also trigger, so to say, the Google search algorithm by then effectively having our videos rank in the video carousel on the Google search results. And that works pretty well as well already. I actually did a study. I think I never shared it actually. But when I built this Google SEO support into the tool, I did a study of the users that I had back then. They obviously didn't do Google SEO by design. At this point, they didn't know that, most of them didn't know that we can rank our videos in Google as well. So I studied that without any influence, without any tool at hand that helped them rank in the Google search results. It turned out that most automatically rank on Google as well. So my data showed that people who do really well in YouTube search naturally also do really well in Google. Usually, you know, how was it? Yeah, I don't have the numbers at hand right now, but half of all channels that do well, in general, or half of all channels also get traffic from Google SEO. 2/3 of all channels do really well in YouTube search, and nearly as much, so half of all channels naturally do well in Google search as well. So this is kind of, even though there are open questions, but it is a natural progression to extend how we trigger algorithms. And so yeah, I thought, how can I extend it even further? And some of you might remember in the algorithm series that I did, the second episode, which would be the first one where I had a study included, was about hashtags. And hashtags is one particular case for YouTube search, but a very specific, special case because YouTube serves up custom search results for hashtags. It's not the regular search results that you get on YouTube there when you enter a hashtag as a search term. It turns out, or we hoped, that hashtags bring us many more views as well. But it turned out, unfortunately, that barely anyone ever gets a considerate amount of views from hashtags. So usually it's really not helping to add hashtags to your videos unless there is a special case. And that was the second episode of this algorithm series where I found out that if you focus on hashtags that very large channels use as well, like 24 hours challenge was my example back in this video, then you can drive views, few hundred views to your channel. So for small channels, that actually would be a growth strategy in addition to regular YouTube SEO that you can use in order to create more views, more momentum for your videos, especially in the beginning after you uploaded your video. So there is a very specific case where you can use it, but in general, hashtags don't do what we originally hoped when they got introduced by YouTube. So that's also the reason why I usually don't add hashtags to my videos. You really need hashtags that are kind of a big momentum on YouTube in order to make them work for you. Yeah. So far, that's the whole, SEO thinking there. But then we start to get issues with our SEO thinking because all the other algorithms, notifications, subscriptions, home, suggested, trending, did I miss anything? No, I think that was it. Those all work in a different way. So our SEO thinking does help us in general to get promoted in the other algorithms as well. I will explain a little bit more about that later on. But the standard SEO thinking just doesn't apply for the other algorithms. So we have to rethink what are the triggers in order to trigger all those different algorithms. And everyone who watched the series, algorithm series, quite a lot of those answers already. What are the factors that make those other algorithms get triggered as well? So, but before I continue, let's do you have any questions about the whole SEO aspect? So that would be YouTube search, Google search, as well as utilizing hashtags, which is a special case of YouTube search. Yeah, interesting. The Monty way. Hashtags neither hurt or help my channel. That is what I saw in the data as well. Back then I studied 2,000 channels and only two of them, that's 1 in 1,000 channels actually made the hashtags work for them. So it's a really low number because really the reason is not every hashtag makes any sense. Basically, the learning in this study was that barely anyone ever clicks a hashtag. You might add them, but if no one is clicking them, then they can't have an effect. And it's throughout big and large and small channels, the behavior of the viewers is the same, that usually people just don't click the hashtags. So that is also the reason why you need to focus on a hashtag that is used by a very big channel that drives millions of views as well. Because only that, if you have this big audience from this large channel, and millions of viewers watching this video, then a very small portion of those viewers actually click this hashtag. And this small percentage, really small percentage of this large audience then looks through the search results of the hashtag and might find your video there. So for small channels who are happy with a few hundred views already, a bigger channel wouldn't consider that many views anymore. But a small channel could grab a few hundred views from that big audience of a big channel, and this of course is a good boost for a small channel. But besides that, it seems there is no application for hashtags at all. All right, more coffee. Super user tech mods. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, SEO is really thought through. All the people before me studied YouTube search in and out, the best practices established, and they actually do work. What can I say? Yeah, it is the most dependable way to grow our channels, and it just makes sense. Of course, for everyone who is starting out with YouTube SEO, it doesn't mean that each and every video will work with YouTube SEO. It is still, even if you apply the best practices, if you look at everything, if you really understand how to do SEO 100% correct, it's still the case that not every video will take off. It's just natural. We are not working with guarantees here. We are working with chances only. So that is usually someone who is starting out with YouTube SEO, a surprise for them. They upload their first video that they optimize with the SEO best practices, and then oftentimes they are surprised that they don't get any views, or somehow they don't know a rank or something. I mean, oftentimes, of course, it is due to not applying the SEO best practices the right way. It is a learning curve, quite frankly. But also, even if you have learned it all and do it perfectly, it doesn't work for every video. But still, it works for most videos, and that is way more than for the other algorithms. So for that reason, I say it's the most dependable way to grow your channel, and it is proven. I mean, I did a lot of studies there as part of the algorithm series, that search is really your foot in the door, and as you grow as a big channel, it still remains a very important aspect. Just for your understanding here, that's taken from one of the previous videos in the algorithm series. If you have a small channel of 1,500 subscribers or so, right? You start off with a lot of traffic from YouTube search, because in the beginning, home and suggested don't work for you that well at this point. I will explain later a little bit why that is. But search is the biggest portion. It is what grows your channel in the beginning. But still, even if you're at 100K, still with 20% roughly, YouTube search remains to play a big role for even the largest channels. So search will bring you to become a big channel. And then, of course, home and suggested play the biggest role, but still YouTube search remains an important factor for a channel. For some channels more, for some channels less, especially tech review channels, something that is very searchable. They really still remain dependent on YouTube search. So it is, it is the growth strategy for small channels to start out with YouTube SEO and to keep focusing on SEO as they grow. All right, let's see if you have some questions about it. Big chat. No worries at all, Commander Vlogs. Great to see you, by the way. Anu and Baz, interesting. Yeah. That's happy to hear. I'm happy to hear that it's working well out for you with the keyword tool in the kids niche. Especially kids niche is quite difficult these days. First of all, because it's super competitive, and second of all, because you have to navigate all the flaggings there. Kids niche is not that very easy these days, because of course our kids need to be safe, and you somehow have to signal YouTube that your channel is a safe one as well. Yeah, it's good that it's working for you. Oh, wow, even first result. Yeah, awesome. Whiskey Jason, how you doing? Whiskey Jason, I might have watched your channel before. I sometimes, when I look through the users that I got on Morningfame, I look through the channels that sign up there just out of interest to get to know all the different niches. And I was binge watching like whiskey review channels. There was a guy who is actually an American who went to Germany and does German whiskey reviews. I forgot his precise channel name. Maybe you know him, Jason? Yeah, but unfortunately, it is indeed the case. Hashtags do not have an effect unless you focus on a very big hashtag. And of course, especially for hashtags, you have to choose the hashtag first and then do a fitting video about it. because they're very specific hashtags. So if you do a video and then in hindsight want to slap a hashtag on it that fits the video topic that you already did a video about, then usually you won't find a video, a hashtag that fits and is big enough to actually, drive views. So I also did this study about hashtags for the reason because I don't want you to apply work into stuff that doesn't have a proper effect. And you can spool back to the algorithm series. Unfortunately, I don't have a link in the description yet. I should add it later about this algorithm series. You will see one of my recent videos, like the 10th latest, is about hashtags. Except this special case, it's not worth your effort. So just don't think about hashtags. Leave them out. Invest your time into other things, yeah, right? We want to use our time efficiently. All right. Green Aqua, great to hear that even with 100K subscribers, congrats, by the way, is your, what is it, a silver play button on the way already? Even hearing that even then YouTube search is important, it's really great. I think just by your channel name, I can't tell, maybe aquariums you're talking about. So it's also a very well-suited niche for search. Super user, deleting videos and then seeing the views go down is kind of a bummer, right? I bet. But anyway, you're doing really great. I think I once did a feature on a strategy that you did regarding to trends, right? The Vibarian, welcome, by the way. You're a new YouTuber and you get even F grades. How to handle that? Okay, when you're doing YouTube SEO, right? Then you are, let me quickly open this. Keyword research tool. Here we go. In the search tab, you enter, for example, how to grow on YouTube. That is, in my niche, a search term that is very competitive because, Daryl Eves is ranking there, and all the other big players, Sunny Lenarduzzi, Brian G. Johnson, Nick Nimmin. I can't compete with them. Yeah. And therefore, I get F grades here. That means the competition is too high. And this is actually the most critical point in YouTube SEO, that you focus on a search term. Yeah, this would be the search term that you enter here, that you think about focusing on, that the competition is low enough. And obviously, this competition is too high for my channel. A bigger channel would have better grades here, obviously, but I do have bad grades. So the only way you can proceed is to find other search terms which are less competitive that then give you better grades, as I explain here in the footnote. Yeah, D grades at least you should get. And if you want to know how to find those alternative search terms, then click on this link. I'm sharing 14 different techniques where you can discover less competitive search terms this way. And I bet that will help you in this case. Unless, of course, you have no videos on your channel yet. That is a special case, and I will shortly do a warning in the keyword research tool to let people know about this special case. If you go to the Morningfame blog, here I'm on a homepage on Morningfame, the blog, and there the latest blog article, I explain how to proceed when you don't have any videos on your channel yet. Then there are quite different rules that you can apply. how to optimize, which search terms to focus on when you are planning your very first videos on your channel. You have no videos uploaded yet. Carrie Trainer, editor, how are you doing, by the way? I've observed a relationship in the YouTube algorithms between traffic and demonetized video status. SEO tips and help to avoid demonetization. You know, this is a tricky topic, actually, because it is actually the case that monetization and discovery in search, discovery in general, so how the YouTube algorithms promote your videos, do not have any link. You might see a relationship that videos that are demonetized don't do well in search as well, or the other way around. It looks like this, but it actually is, and that is a true fact. It is a correlation. It is not a causation. So a video that gets demonetized has still the same chances to get promoted by the YouTube algorithms as a video that is not demonetized. Todd, the head of the search and discovery team at YouTube, the team that builds the YouTube algorithm, explicitly stated when he was faced with this question that there is no links between the two systems, the system that runs the algorithms and the system that does flagging for demonetization. There is no link between those. Even if, and I have to say, there was a drama going on YouTube about the link between those two and studies being made. But I looked at those studies and they actually didn't incorporate any measures that showed a causation. Everything that they showed is only correlation and there's no link. Sorry, it is like this. The reason is that that we see the correlation between those two is that videos that get demonetized have similar rules as videos that don't get promoted by the algorithms. Things that offend people, for example. I'm not necessarily saying that you are doing that. There are many reasons. Just as an example, videos that offend, that get reported by users, and at the same time get also flagged for demonetization by the how do they call it? The algorithm that automatically flags videos for demonetization. So the signals that make algorithms not promote a video, or the signals that make the system for monetization flag a video for demonetizations, these signals are similar ones. And because those signals are similar, we see this correlation that videos that get demonetized, you oftentimes also don't get promoted by the YouTube algorithms. But one and the other has nothing to do with each other. That first, but for demonetization, certainly there is many different aspects for demonetization. I'm repeating knowledge that I got in last Vid Summit, actually, in a talk that was done by Daryl Eves and a associate of his who did a big data study on demonetization. And by the way, who's going to Vid Summit? I recently booked the ticket for the next one this October. So say yeah if you go there as well, and let's meet up, of course. So they talked about demonetization, and YouTube takes many different aspects into account there. The thumbnails, the metadata, obviously, as well as the closed captions. So basically everything that they can see about your video. It might even go as far as analyzing the video itself. There were experiments shown by the Google tech team explaining how they even analyze the video content, but I'm not sure whether YouTube is actually using those techniques already for their monetization system. It might be just that the Google engineers did experiments with it, but it's not in actual use with the YouTube's monetization system yet. So what we know for sure is that they analyze thumbnails as well as the metadata and the closed captions. In the talk that was done at last Vid Summit by Daryl Eves, his associate analyzed actually the closed captions of thousands of videos, and he found out that curse words, for example, make the video get demonetized. You know what? I'm not sure whether he was talking about demonetization or getting flagged to not get promoted by the YouTube algorithms. Sorry, I don't know the details anymore. But anyway, the result was that even one curse word already made the video get flagged. Yeah. So if you want to really make sure that your video is clean and is ready for monetization, then you should make sure that your tongue doesn't slip even one time. Yeah, that is very important, especially if you are in the kids niche. Then it's more stringent, certainly. Yeah, we know certain YouTube niches, curse words are normal there. I think YouTube also acts accordingly. What is the standard in the niche? I believe, yeah, it's not a fact, but I believe. So make sure you don't say curse words in your videos. There are many tools out there that analyze your metadata and your closed captions in order to find words that are flagged. Try to use those in order to find more, to learn what you can do in order to not get flagged for demonetization. Also, the thumbnail analysis is one point, and I don't know who has heard about the Cloud Vision API. Maybe I can load it up. Cloud Vision. Here we go. Here we go. This is Google Cloud Vision AI. Yeah. And that's a system that takes thumbnails. Here we go. This is the link there if you want to try it out yourself. Hi, Bridget. How are you doing? So you can drag and drop your thumbnail here. And then with that, you can analyze your thumbnails. Let me see. For example, my latest thumbnail is obviously very safe in this regard. Here we go. This is one from this live stream. And the interesting part is they analyze many different things. The Cloud Vision API is not meant only for YouTube thumbnail analysis. It's also, for many other tools out there. Anyway, the important part is the safe search here. And what they analyze is this shows this adult content, which would be obviously bad for YouTube. Spoof is if you steal, for example, a movie poster from a, copyright things. Medical, if you see gore content in some sense, you don't want to have that. Violence, obviously, is not a good. Racy content, I'm not sure what they actually mean by that, what would encompass being a racy picture. But anyway, it's measured here as well. And if something is flagged here, obviously here nothing is flagged, then you have to rethink your thumbnail design in order to ensure that you not possibly get flagged with your thumbnail. Yeah, so that's the idea here. But then again, be yeah, better be on the safe side when you design your thumbnails, because this Cloud Vision API that I just showed you here is a generic service from Google. YouTube uses it according, we know that from their release, but they not necessarily use the exact same version of this AI. They might have tweaked it for their individual needs. So make sure that your thumbnails do well in this report here. But even if everything is unlikely, it doesn't necessarily mean that your thumbnail doesn't get flagged. It's just a way to ensure that you're rather on the safe side, because of course YouTube might look at other aspects of the thumbnail as well, which actually do get your thumbnail flagged in the end. So we can't be 100% certain, but it's a good help here. By the Magdalena, yeah. This is really an interesting tool here. I just pasted the link above, just for everyone who missed this link. Here you go again. You can drag and drop. You have to scroll down to the drag and drop field and just analyze your thumbnail before you publish your video. Actually, I'm thinking about integrating that into Morningfame. What do you think? We have, if I go here I have the saved metadata of my live stream today. And here, you already upload your thumbnail. So I could show that here as well. Just an idea. All right. Any further questions about that? If that is actually a good question, digging for life. If YouTube is not in support of helping us all grow, why are not aren't they more transparent? Channels should not have so many questions, right? I thought about that. I mean, for the past years, I'm on YouTube here, and basically, I think about YouTube 24/7. Really good questions. I think I finally have the answer. You have to think about like this. YouTube as a whole has a certain amount of viewers, even though it's growing like crazy and there's more and more viewers to get views to us YouTube creators. Still, the viewers on YouTube are limited. So there is only a limited space for big channels to be, right? And we all want to become big channels. And I think no one disagrees in this regard. But we can't all become big channels because there's not enough viewers for everyone being a big channel. So naturally, it has to be filtered. Yeah, that is what we face as competition. We have to work our way through the competition so that we get a big channel. And obviously, many others don't make it into a big channel, and they can't make it because there's not enough viewers for every one of us to be a big channel. So that's just the reality. I mean, it's not something that YouTube decides or something. So the best YouTubers have the chance to rise to the top, and most of them unfortunately don't make it. They stop their endeavor, unfortunately. It's the reality. And what YouTube does here, and I think I always thought about small channels, big channels, and it seems they focus on big channels all the time, and it's kind of unfair, right? The more I look into it, actually, they do a heck lot for small channels as well. It's not as obvious, unfortunately. Yeah, and I understand that feels like they leave the small channels behind, but they do a heck lot, especially when I analyze the algorithms. They have things baked in that make small channels being able to grow. Yeah. Otherwise, they don't have new channels rising anymore, right? If they weren't doing that. But you know, if you are looking at small channels, for example, here, let's see that I'm still a small channel as well, right? But still, I get really good views from search, for example. I have videos like these ones here that continuously drive new viewers to my channel. Yeah, every day new viewers find my channel, even though I'm really small still, and that is by design from YouTube. Yeah, the same is true not only for search, but also suggested videos. I'm not driving as many views here on average, maybe, what is it, 50 views a day from suggested videos. But I have videos that constantly drive new views to my channel. And it is by design. YouTube, by design, helps small channels to drive this traffic and not only give it to the large channels. Granted, yeah, the large channels get the biggest pie. And the reason why YouTube focuses on large channels so much is because large channels are very invested into YouTube. Yeah, they build their whole business around it, and they need job security, right? I mean, if you're taking a job somewhere else, you want job security. And that is really important. If you are a small channel and would be seeing this big channels not having job security, yeah, because they have one-hit wonders, they are big for some time, yeah, drive millions of views, and half a year later they die again, yeah. What purpose, what reason would you have to try to become a big channel as well? What they actually do is polishing everything they can do for the big channels as well as for you once you become a big channel. Job security is so important. So that's the reason why they focus on the big channels. So once you did it, once you pressured through all the competition and become a big channel, you can be assured that you will have job security, that everything pays out, and you can do this job for many years to come. See it like this. Yeah, it is really important. In this regard, I really support YouTube, that they make sure that big channels really have a sustainable business there. This is really important, because otherwise I also wouldn't be motivated to start this journey to grow my channel. All right, let's see, where are we at? You know, I think, all right, Doc Rock, Magdalena, I will. Thank you. Jitindra, was I saying that right? YouTube trimming down the sub counts. Yeah, it will happen in a week to 2 weeks, right? That the sub counts are abbreviated. I'm not too happy about it myself, because obviously, I mean, I want to track in my tool how many subscribers you gain each week. Obviously, that's something that is interesting to you. But I couldn't anymore with this change. But then again, you know, this ties back into what I just said. They explained it actually finally why they did it. They don't want big channels to have the pressure that people are tracking their live subscriber count. It is, again, you know, as a big channel, you don't want to have a stressful job. And this is one step towards making it less stressful for big channels. And there is a good point there, actually, even though, you know, it has, you know, negative sides on it. But yeah, it is a challenge to manage the big platform like it is. And sometimes they have to make decisions that are not good for everyone. So, you know, it's not the biggest deal, you know. Mother Muse, I don't think they ever will remove the subscriber count. Sometimes people actually do say that because in terms of the YouTube algorithm, the subscriber count doesn't matter anymore that much as it was, let's say, 5 years ago. So it seems like they are, retiring subscriber counts more and more. But I don't think that they do, because views as well as subscribers are kind of, the bread and butter for YouTube channel. That's something they get measured by. That's something we distinguish between small and large channels. All that, right? And that is so ingrained into the culture that subscriber counts is more than a technical aspect of the system. Because people subscribe, they get notified about your videos and all that. That is a technical aspect, right? But also it's a cultural aspect. And because subscribers are a cultural part of it all, I don't think they ever will remove subscriber counts. It's besides that, it's still helpful for the system. So yeah, don't worry. All right, the salon guy, let's do one last question about YouTube SEO, and then let's move on to the other algorithms. When you are doing YouTube SEO based on Morningfame's keyword research tool, then the main work takes place in the number 3 search tab, where you enter search terms here and test out which ones you could use in order to optimize your video. And the most important, the critical part, is to get the competition right. And as you see here, I did so for, this is actually the search term I used for this live stream, at least D, B grades. Yeah, C for relevance is a little bit low, but I ensured that, the metadata is spot on for this search term. I entered it here and got 95%. I actually turn out to be the gateway video, it seems. I'm here. My live stream is currently ranking. So yeah, good success here. Anyway, you have to ensure that competition is low enough for your channel. So for small channels, the competition looks higher than for big channels. So the competition is relative to the size of your channel, and that is reflected in the grades. Make sure that you focus on search terms that have low enough competition. By the way, as I explained earlier, if you can't find good search terms that give you good grades, click this link in the footnote, where I explain techniques to find less competitive search terms. If you find those, and also ensure that you have a green check here. That is very important, because competition is the part that makes you rank your video. But if you rank for the search term, you also want to make sure that people are searching that search term, right? Because if you rank number 1 here and no one searches for the search term, then no one will find your video ranking at this number 1 spot, right? So you have to make sure that this search term is used, that is denoted by the green check, as well as the search volume should be quite high. If you click on here, you see a little bit more what the green check, you can learn more about the green check here. The red cross in its place would mean that no one is searching this search term, so you should look for another search term. And the search volume level is explained a little bit more behind this link as well. Ideally, the higher the better. And if you have all in place, then you can go to step 4 here and optimize your metadata to be relevant for this search term, which I did here. So I have this target search term in my title. I have in the description triggers, YouTube algorithm as well, and tags that fit the video topic. And this way you optimize your video in search. I hope this is a good rundown just for starters. If you have more questions, just leave me a comment later on or send me an email, reply to just any Morningfame email, and I will respond to your questions. Um, Tira C music, indeed, yeah. Most of the search terms are not very competitive in terms of relevance because not many people optimize their videos well for search, yeah, optimized metadata. But especially in the YouTube advice niche, where obviously all the channels know SEO very well, you have often search terms that are super well optimized. All the videos in there are well optimized, and this way it's kind of tricky to beat people in terms of relevance. Yeah. Hi, Mattbook. How you doing? All right. Okay. Let's move on to the other algorithms. Yeah. As I said in the beginning, ideally, we would be able to trigger the other algorithms as well, suggested videos, home, and so on. And let's go quickly through them. Some of you who are part of the Morningfame Early Access program already have access to the algorithm tab. If you don't have yet, in the account and subscription page, you will find a link at the top where you can join the early access program. But anyway, this is a good way to think about the different algorithms. YouTube search, we talked about it. Google search is naturally videos who do well in YouTube search tend to do well in Google search as well. And sometimes even, that is really interesting. I recently had a video that was the last one that I published. Was it the last one? Yeah, the last one 2 weeks ago. Really got a huge spike from Google as search as well, which is super helpful to get a video up and running. This momentum in the beginning is really important, especially for the other algorithms. Yeah, YouTube search and Google search a little bit, but more important for suggested videos as well as for home. These are the other two algorithms that are the most important algorithms in YouTube. Yeah, as I showed before, here small as well as large channels, most of their traffic come from YouTube search, home, and suggested. Yeah, all the other algorithms are not too important. So if you want to focus on growing your channel, focus on those three algorithms. Yeah, because the other algorithms don't really make a big difference. The reason is, where were we? Here. Suggested videos and home is very important. Then we have subscriptions, for example. Your subscribers find your new upload, certainly. Yeah, that's very important. But the subscription tab is just one part of it. Most of them actually find your video in home. As you can see here in marked in yellow, most of my traffic is coming from my subscribers, 66%, so 2/3 actually at that point. So most of subscribers actually find new videos via home. Subscription is not too important. And you don't really have to do anything in order for your subscribers to find your new videos there. It's naturally just happening. So if you want to trigger algorithms, and that's what we're talking about today, then subscriptions basically gets triggered automatically by just uploading a video and having many active subscribers. I will talk about active subscribers in a moment a little bit, because they are so important. But subscriptions is automatically triggered, so to say. So we don't have to do anything extra for that. And the same thing for notifications here at the top. That is usually also automatically triggered. You obviously, it makes sense to ask your subscribers to ring the bell, because then the chance is higher that they actually do get a notification. So this is what you can do in order to drive up your notifications. Ask them to subscribe and ring the bell, right? And so notifications, subscriptions are two algorithms that basically get automatically triggered if you have many active subscribers. And then we have, in addition, trending. As you can see here, I have no views from trending. That is usually something that only big channels get. But I did a study as part of the algorithm series again. And it turns out that no channel that I looked at, from the thousands I look at, no channel actually does get a considerate amount of views from trending. Even the biggest channels who do drive more views, thousands of views via trending, still it is in one case where the channel with the most traffic from trending that I saw, 4 million subscribers driving thousands of views via trending, and that is 0.5% from all the views that channel gets. 0.5%. 99.5% come from other algorithms. Whether that channel ranks in trending or not, that channel owner doesn't care. 0.5% more or less doesn't make a difference. So trending is one algorithm that we could think about triggering, but it's really not worth our efforts. So it goes back to YouTube search, doing YouTube SEO. At the same time, we drive Google search traffic as well, with a little bit of extra. There is a video on my channel to explain what the little bit extra is. And then suggested videos and home. So that is also the reason why I did those bar charts of the makeup of channels from which algorithms they get their traffic from. Just looking about these 3 algorithms. So all the others are not important. And carry trainer, interesting. You have a little over 50% suggested, 30% browse. Browse, by the way, is home and subscriptions and a little bit more. Most of it is usually home, so that's good. And only 5% from search. You know what? You should look a little bit more into how you can optimize your videos for SEO, because the interesting part is, also part of the algorithm series I explained, that I found out that the overlap between those 3 algorithms, is oftentimes via optimized videos in search. So we actually have a statement, official statement from a white paper from Google about the recommendation system, that would be the home and the suggested videos algorithm, where it states that if our video does well in search, then the chance is higher that it also will do well in home and suggested. So carry trainer, if you optimize your videos more for search, then the chance is very high that you will also increase your suggested videos and home traffic as well at the same time. So it's really worth the investment. Of course, it depends on what kind of videos you do. Sometimes it's easier to optimize your video for search because it has to evolve around something that people search, some question that they might have, for example. Vlog channels, for example, have it quite difficult to optimize their videos, even though there are ways to do that. So you have to look into your particular type of videos to find the angle at which you can optimize your video for search. But it's certainly, without a doubt, useful for any channel. But that said, of course, if you are a very large channel, 100K and plus, then you get so much traffic from home and suggested that you can omit any YouTube SEO if you wanted to. All channels benefit from YouTube SEO as well, but they have the liberty basically to not care about it because they drive enough from home and suggested. So they can save the time and just focus on creating videos. They have the liberty. So if you are at this point, feel free to not do YouTube SEO. But again, it would help even as a big channel. Interesting, Mother Muse. Most of my views seem to come from search, so I'm doing something right with Morningfame. Awesome. But not many viewers subscribe. Too bad. I'm working hard to improve my video quality now. That's a really good idea. And that leads naturally into the next topic, active subscribers. So the ways, just to sum it up, right? We have YouTube search, YouTube SEO for that to actively trigger that. And that also helps us to do better in home and suggested. So with YouTube SEO, you have 3 down, 3 birds with 1 stone, so to say. The most important 3 algorithms do get triggered via YouTube SEO. So that's great. But for home and suggested, we need more ways to also trigger those algorithms. In addition, additional ways to trigger those algorithms besides YouTube SEO. And the one most important part of it, and I can't stress that enough, is active subscribers. Active subscribers, they have so much influence over everything, that it is truly important to focus on them. And if you are a Morningfame user, then you can go to the Velocity tab, and this top section here, with the gray background, is dedicated to active subscribers. For example, I estimate how many active subscribers you have. I have 6,500 subscribers in total, and roughly 10% of them, at least 10%, it's just an estimate, come from, are people who are, so to say, active subscribers. Those are people who keep coming back to watch my new videos. And that is really great, I explain a little bit more about those people here when you click the I button. But most importantly, you see here how this number evolves over time. And I'm happy to see actually that my number keeps growing and growing. So that's a really good sign. And actually, I did a study way back when I was, Morningfame was still small, and I analyzed just 400 channels or so. But I realized that having 10% here of the total number, 10%, which is in my case, I'm at 11 or 12% here right now, is really an awesome job. The more you grow, the more difficult it will be to keep up this 10%. But if you do, then you're doing a kick-ass job. Really, 10% is an incredible number. Usually you will see here much lower numbers. 10% is really basically the holy grail of keeping your subscribers active. The idea, is to motivate people to keep coming back. And the good subscriber experience helps here a lot. When you click here the button, I just click this button here. The most interesting part is here. You want to have many views from subscribers, So many views basically means people actually do come back and watch your new videos when you upload them. So having a high number here is a good thing. And as you see, for a channel of my size, I'm twice as good as the average. So that states again how good 10% of your total subscriber actually is. And then, of course, you want to have high watch times. So that is actually Mother Muse, a good idea that you focus on your video quality. Because video quality has a lot to do with how much watch time you get from your subscribers. So the average view duration that you get here, which is good in my case, but I could work on it. I should work on it even more. Watch time is so important, right? So that people ideally watch the videos to the end. That is a really good sign. People are engaged with your videos, are happy to watch it to the end. Don't get bored in the middle and stop watching your video. That's really important. And then, of course, getting many likes and shares, which is likes, comments, shares in general, engagement from your subscribers. Which is kind of the tip of the iceberg, If people watch the videos to the end, as well as liking, commenting, and sharing, that means that they really enjoyed your videos. And this is a good sign that you truly do great videos that people enjoy, and that sets you up that more and more of your subscribers stay along your journey and keep watching your new uploads. That's very important. So that is very important to consider. And what I did here is a top 10 list to see which video did the best for your subscribers. And happily, I see that my recent algorithm series that I did, this is one episode of it, that's the second episode, that is also one episode. They all do really well for my subscribers. So you guys really enjoy it, and that's a good sign. And I will continue to do those algorithm series with all those studies included there to understand how we can actively trigger those algorithms. And again, it is really important to have a lot of active subscribers, because they drive the initial views of your videos. They are the first to watch your videos. And that's also the reason why I put this section here of about the active subscribers into the Velocity tab, because they are the most important people to drive up the initial views of your videos. This view velocity, this going up in the beginning, is mostly your active subscribers. And the reason why it's so important, and that's also what I studied as part of the algorithm series, is that active subscribers not only drive your views, drive your watch time and all that, gives you a minimum amount of views for each video that you upload, because active subscribers are happy about your content. But if there are people who are really enjoying your videos, and keep coming back, and that's your active subscribers, then obviously if a new person discovers your video, the chance is high that this new person enjoys your videos as well, because you have basically proof that you do great videos. Because otherwise, if you wouldn't do great videos, then your subscribers wouldn't keep coming back, right? I mean, it's simple as that. That's human psychology. I don't know how to call it. It's natural. It has nothing to do with YouTube. If you do something great, then they keep coming back because they want more of your great stuff that you do, right? Basically in everything in the world that you do, that you provide to people. If it's great, people enjoy it, they want more, right? And YouTube knows that, And the algorithms are designed according to that. They are designed to look at how are your initial viewers, which are usually mostly your active subscribers, how are they enjoying your videos? And if they enjoy that well, then they say, all right, there are people who enjoy it. Now I have to show it to more people, similar people, because chances are that they will enjoy it too. And then hence they will like YouTube as a whole platform, because it recommended great videos to them. And that's the reason for people to keep coming back every day and watch YouTube, right? So it all ties together. So you, as your channel, play a role into making YouTube a great platform for viewers to come back. And ideally, you want the viewers not only to come back to YouTube, but also to come back to your channel. And if you do great content, then that works. And the algorithms are designed this way. So they look at your first initial viewers, and if they enjoy the video, then they promote it to more people. And if those more people enjoy it again, then they promote it to even more people, and so on and so on. That's how it works. Not so much for YouTube search, even though it is to an extent true there as well. But also, this, what I just explained, that is exactly how home and suggested videos do work. It's based on a scientific paper. I mentioned it earlier again. I mentioned it all the time, basically. Where the Google engineers explained how YouTube's recommendation system works. And it is exactly explained that way there, with much more details even. And recently there was actually an AMA, because this... now I spilled something. Good coffee, sorry, just a second. Recently there was an AMA done by YouTube. And there, some person actually asked how this scientific paper, if it's still valid nowadays. This AMA was a few months ago, so not very old. And this paper is already, I think it was from 2017, 16, something like that. So the question is, since the algorithm is changing all the time, does the paper still give valid information how the algorithms works nowadays? And they confirmed it. Todd, the head from the search and the discovery team, the head of the team who are building those algorithms, confirmed that this paper is still accurate. So, you know, that is how important active subscribers is. The algorithms home and suggested in particular look at your active subscribers, how they enjoy it. If they enjoy it, these algorithms promote your video to more people. If they enjoy it again, they promote it to even more people. And this way, a snowball effect kicks in. Yeah. And essentially is also what happens for viral videos. There it is kind of this effect to promote to more and more people on steroids, so to say. And all right, the interesting part is, yeah, what I just told you, active subscribers make the snowball rolling. And by the way, just a quick note, if you rank your videos in search right after you upload your video, which is usually the case if you do great YouTube SEO, those initial viewers who search and find your video via search are also one of the first viewers who watch your videos. And if they enjoy it, it will get promoted to more viewers again. So your active subscribers and your first viewers that come through search are the two groups that get the snowball rolling, by the way. But again, back to active subscribers. Those are not only getting your snowball rolling. The interesting part is actually, some of you might remember in the algorithm series that I did a study on active subscribers there. It really surprised me that the suggested videos algorithm actually apparently depends on your active subscribers. The point is this, when it might seem that the more your channel grows, the more YouTube favors your videos and you drive tons of views. And it's also a reason why small channels often say it's unfair for small channels. Yeah, you know, that's debatable. But anyway, the big channels turned out to get, via suggested videos, a surprising amount of views from their active subscribers. Yeah, I thought that the more your channel grows, the less important your active subscribers become. They are certainly very important for small channels because you somehow have to bootstrap your channel, and having your core fan base in the beginning really makes that work. And I think in my case, for my channel, this is really the true key here, besides the YouTube SEO, of course. But the big channels, the portion of views they get via suggested videos increased for active subscribers. So that means that suggested videos seems to require for big channels to really understand the channel. That the channel owner has to really understand how to get their subscribers back to watch the new videos. And it becomes even more important the more your channel grows. So active subscribers, to have them is not only important to bootstrap the growth of your channel, but it becomes more and more important the more you grow to keep growing your channels, to keep driving a lot of traffic. Yeah. And again, when we look here, for those big channels, the suggested videos traffic on average is, 30%, 1/3, yeah, of the whole traffic. And it is necessary, as I saw in the data, to have active subscribers to a good portion of active subscribers, roughly 10% of all the traffic that those large channels get from suggested videos, have to come from active subscribers. So growing your active subscribers is not only important for the growth stage of your channel, but also, it seems, we're quite sure I'm already about that, it is a requirement to become a big channel and to keep being a big channel. So, the two triggers for home and suggested are YouTube SEO as well as active subscribers. Super important. So far we know, yeah? And again, let's circle back what I said in the beginning. We already actively trigger the YouTube search algorithm using YouTube SEO. But for the other algorithms, home and suggested in particular, the YouTube SEO thinking does not apply in the same way. Those two algorithms work completely different, yeah? Especially because what I just explained to you with the groups, the first group, watch the video. If they enjoy it, it promotes via home and suggested the video to more people. If they also enjoys your video, it promotes it to even more people. This snowball effect, of the groups showing it to the groups. This is something that how home and suggested works. And you realize I'm not talking about metadata here, which is so important for YouTube SEO, right? I'm not talking about metadata. So it's a different kind of thinking. But still, because if a video does well in YouTube search, home and suggested do with a high chance pick up your video as well as in home and suggested. So YouTube in SEO indirectly also triggers home and suggested, as well as, and active subscribers is the way to trigger home and suggested as well. This is the way you trigger those algorithms. And obviously that is a completely different thinking here. We have to just understand that. All right, these two things. Let's pause at this point to see if you have any questions about that. Super user, I don't think episodes work, but series of videos help, because if people see a video part 3, etc., they don't normally go back and watch number 1 first. All right, there seems to be a discussion going on between you, which is a really good discussion. That would be the third trigger for especially suggested videos, the suggested videos algorithm, but also I'm not sure to what extent, home as well. Home and suggested videos are very similar, but still they are in a sense a little bit different, I will talk a little bit about the difference shortly, but binge watching your content, binge watching, is one additional key, the third key to triggering suggested videos. And by the way, just to give you an understanding, as you all know, I do this algorithm series on this channel right now. And I'm really looking into what other series I can do as well. Because, series and people binge watching this series is truly important on YouTube to trigger suggested videos, especially. And if you look at the algorithm tab, again, people who are in the early access program have access to it already. You see here a portion linked content. Linked content is not a algorithm from YouTube, but I'm including it here because it's a mix of mechanisms that you use, end screens, cards, and all that, playlists, obviously, all these mechanisms that help us set up series so that people can binge watch them. And that is the reason why I explicitly have linked content here as well, because we want to study that more. And happily, and that is really important, we see here that videos that I have in a series benefit from link content a lot. This video is, for example, a second episode of a series where this video is the first episode. Yeah. So this one is getting views via the end screen from this one. Yeah, this one gets views from elsewhere. This you can't see where it's coming from yet, but that will be part of the algorithm tab in the future once I continue developing it. But anyway, I know that because I know my channel, that this one gets a lot of views from this one because it's a series. So the binge watching aspect is already in place here. And actually, can we see that? Ah, yeah, very great to see here. It's not much yet, right? 5 views at most in one day. So it's really not much here. It's not really working. I didn't figure it out, this whole binge watching aspect on YouTube yet, quite frankly, yeah, but I'm starting to make it work. And I'm so happy to see it here because trending is actually the previous episode in the algorithm series. Yeah, the last one before this live stream, as well as this one. I think that was the one before the trending episode, number 7, number 6. And those benefit from linked content because in each episode before that, I have an end screen and I have a pitch and then the end card that brings people to the next episode in this series. And that is something that works for suggested videos very well. Binge watching content makes suggested videos just get triggered. And here I see that my setup for binge watching the series works as I get views via linked content. And of course, let's look at suggested videos itself because we should see that getting triggered because of that. By the way, here are the other episodes, 3 other episodes in linked content. That got the views because people binge watched this algorithm series. That's the first episode, by the way. Also one episode really working out, although there's very few views at this point. But here, suggested videos, yeah? You do this binge watching. This is one part. I want you to understand what trigger really means, yeah? Trigger means that you do something, people engage with your videos, in this case, binge watching your videos, which we see here above in the linked content section. And then because of that, yeah, the suggested video algorithm sees what is happening there, gets those signals of people binge watching your series, and then decides, oh, that's a cool video. I should promote it to more people. And yeah, let's see if I am true to what I say. Great. Here, for example, this video gets additional views from suggested videos, because this is the second episode of the algorithm series. This video got via linked content from the first episode, views via the end screen. Suggested video picked that up and promoted this episode to even more people. Yeah, the suggested videos algorithm got triggered. And here is the third episode. It got also triggered here, which is really great. Let's see. Here we have the 7th episode of my algorithm series. So you can see here, again, one of this, these 2 are also from the algorithm series. It's not much at this point, yeah? I have to make it really efficient at this point, but it's starting to work. People binge watch my series a little bit and suggested videos gets triggered, yeah? The third trigger, how you make actively triggering suggested videos. Interesting, right? And at this point you see we're so far beyond the regular YouTube SEO thinking, optimizing your metadata. There are additional ways to actively trigger those algorithms. And the more I look at the data, the more proof I get from this, yeah? It's not only YouTube SEO that triggers home and suggested, it's also your active subscribers, it's also the binge watching of your series that makes triggering those additional algorithms, home and suggested videos. So when you do this, you get more and more successful in those algorithms as well, and along the way grow your channel, right? Let's see. What are your questions about that? By the way, I will, because a Silver Heist you just asked, you will rewatch. Next week I will upload a best of this live stream, so you can watch the best parts of it. All right. Content is a good strategy. I do high production value stuff, so there's no way I can pull it off. Mixing easy videos and awesome videos 4 to 5 is ideal for me. That was the discussion around flagship videos, right? This is also basically a thinking about series, right? You build up anticipation for a big video, and this way you basically, this is kind of the active subscriber angle first and foremost. If you are planning to do a very big video, high production value, a lot of new information in there, if you do knowledge-based channels, for example, then you can create videos before those that tease basically this big video coming up. And so this way, your subscribers in particular, are eager or look forward to a video coming up. And if you do it successfully and then you release your flagship videos, then you bring a lot of momentum, a lot of view velocity to that flagship video. And because it's a high production flagship video, you bootstrap the promotion of your video. Yeah, maybe, you know, that's a good point. Here, this is the backside of my backside. That's the backside of my business card. I will hand out a few hard copies of those where next Vid Summit, by the way, who's going to Vid Summit as well. I really look forward to that one again. It's a really great conference. This is basically the idea, what you do there, and this flagship video really ties into that idea. We all know that we have impressions, click-through rate, and then watch time. And the flagship video actually does all that in a very clever way. First of all, impressions. You need to have impressions in the beginning. So basically creating that view velocity. Just a second. Here, for example, that really in the beginning, the views increase very steeply. That's the idea. And if you announce your video beforehand, even do a few small videos that tease the video that are coming up, then the chances high that the view velocity in the beginning is very steep. Yeah, and with that, you bootstrap the impressions. Yeah, you have many viewers seeing your new videos via notifications, home, and all that. That's a few impressions. Especially the home impressions are counted in the new YouTube Studio. You know, active subscribers keep coming back, see your video, and they, of course, then with the flagship video in particular, click through. Yeah, they see it on YouTube, click through, which is very important. Ideally, if you do a flagship video, obviously you do invest a lot of time into creating a great thumbnail as well that will create a lot of click-through rate. So you go through there with a great number, and then especially the flagship video creates a lot of watch time. And that kicks off a virtuous circle. Here you go. A virtuous circle. Yeah. Because these impressions, the first impressions, produced a lot of click-through and high watch time, the algorithms, particularly home and suggested videos, see that and then in turn create more impressions for new people. And because you created, especially with the flagship video, a great thumbnail and a great video in general, those new people who get those new impressions, these additional impressions, also click through at a high rate, also produce a high watch time. And then again, the algorithms, home and suggested in particular, see, wow, that really worked well. So I do virtuous circle style, more impressions, they click through again and so on. And this gets the machine rolling, right? This is the whole idea. That is actually the real thinking that you need for home and suggested, to create this virtuous circle, yeah, with your active subscribers who keep coming back to watch your new video, sharing your video on social media, on email lists and all that, what you can do in order to create views from external traffic, obviously to optimize your video for search so that many viewers watch your video in the beginning because they found your video in search. The impressions come via the search results, obviously. Hopefully high click-through rate, you rank high and have a great watch time, high click-through rate, then again watch time, and that creates the virtuous circle. So you have to snowball it, yeah? Get the snowball rolling with these techniques, and then obviously great thumbnails are the biggest portion of getting a high click-through rate, a great title obviously as well. But the thumbnail is the most important part, and the watch time, we all know for years already that this is the important part. So in order to make this virtual circle work, let's recap. We do YouTube SEO to get the ball rolling, have high active subscriber counts. What was the next one? Lost the train of thought. I forgot the points. Can you help me out? Obviously, series binge watching was the one next part, and the fourth was. Can you remember what the fourth one was? To trigger those algorithms. All right. So far, do you have questions about that? So we talked a lot about how to trigger home and suggested as well, but at this point we only talked about home and suggested in the same way, right? There are differences between those algorithms, which I want to talk about. Let's see. Okay. UK, here we grow. Interesting, yeah. That you were able to do a vacation or just a pause on your channel for 8 weeks and still it grew. That was actually a recent, not so much recent, it was in the turn of the year 2018 to 2019 roughly, where they introduced a algorithm change that as particularly works for channel who are taking a vacation or a break of some sort. So that it doesn't, it is at a detriment for the channel. That's really important. That's also job security for big channels, especially. You want, once you have established your business on YouTube, you want to have the ability to take a vacation, right? Every job allows you to do so, and it would be bad if YouTube wouldn't do so. So they implemented into the algorithm a mechanism to incorporate those vacation periods for you, which is, I think, a really great move. And I see it from many channels, by the way, like UK, here we grow. The same thing that you saw for your channel, I see it for so many other channels who take a break, that it continues to work for them. And it is mostly, by the way, thanks to videos that have an evergreen aspect to it. By the way, that is also a part of what I studied. Evergreen type videos really do well in search, home, and suggested at the same time. So if you are focusing on a topic that is basically interesting for people for a long time, for years to come, yeah. Best example is something like a space mission, right? I still watch videos about a space mission that was 10 years ago. because it's kind of timeless, right? Of course, people are interested in the newest space missions, but they always want to see what the history of spacefaring, how is it called? Anyway, is about. So you would obviously watch a video that is 10 years ago about, what was it? Discovery? No. Anyway, an old space mission. Right. 15 tips to grow tomatoes. Yeah, right. That's also a perfect example. Growing tomatoes didn't change that much in the last 50 years. I bet it did, especially with vertical farming nowadays or whatever, like data-driven farming with analyzing all the nutrients in your water and all that changed a lot. But everyone who starts out with growing tomatoes needs a 101 on that, right? So doing videos like this is really, evergreen. Hi, Rosh, how are you doing? All right. Okay, let's, where we are at. Do you have some questions about how to trigger particular algorithms? We just talked about search, home and suggested in particular quite a lot. Search, as you know, YouTube SEO, that's pretty much a done deal. We know the best practices works well for everyone, and thus not much additionally to talk about. I talked about in the beginning, subscriptions and notifications are algorithms as well, which are basically not too important, as well as are getting automatically triggered by uploading videos. The only thing is, of course, that you ideally want to ask people to ring the bell, because this increases the chance that they get a notification. But besides that, not much to talk about, and also not to optimize. And then, of course, trending is something that many people think is a holy grail, but it turns out to be not be any impact on any channel of any size whatsoever. So it is basically a waste of your efforts to try to optimize for the trending tab. If you have the luck to rank there in the trending tab, then it's good. It's additional views, but not much anyway, so don't worry about the trending algorithm. So YouTube search, home, and suggested are the ones that we need to talk about, and that's, basically triggering all algorithms evolves around these three algorithms. Good question, Deadlaycraft. What sorts of thumbnails drive good impressions? I look at my videos and wonder if this will interest the viewer. Very good question. Thumbnails are super important for the click-through rate, as we learned in the recent half a year or year everywhere. So I don't have to reiterate that, right? The point is this: thumbnails have two purposes. One is to get your subscribers back to watch your new videos, and one, of course, to create a big click-through for new visitors. The velocity tab in Morningfame. Yeah, let's go quickly there. We have this section about active subscribers, and there I put the thumbnail analysis as well. Yeah. Which is, here we go. Thumbnails do have an important role to get your active subscribers keep coming back to watch your new videos. So therefore, I created this grid here, just a convenient way to look at your latest videos. And as you see here, for example, in my case, I have really strong branding. I mean, in the face strong, right? I'm quite an exception in basically all channels. unless of course you show your face, which is also very strong branding, because people whose humans are wired this way that they recognize faces quite well in a split second. And the idea is, if you scroll through the home feed, for example, and suddenly scroll past a video of yours, yeah, a viewer sees a video of yours and they recognize your face, or in my case, just the yellow color alone will recognize that, oh, Morningfame uploaded a new video. Then they know it doesn't really matter what the video is about or something. For active subscribers, it only matters, oh, there's a new video out there from that channel, which I know does great videos, so I have to watch this. Yeah, the active subscribers are much easier to convince because they watched your past videos. And for them, it is important to have something that they recognize easily in a split second, so they don't miss your thumbnail when they scroll through their home feed, for example. And in my case, I have more than enough to be recognizable. I have the yellow color, which would alone be enough. Then I have these stripes at the corner, which is a branding thing. Then the tilted text here. So I can even, like in this example, I can replace the yellow with something different, and still people will recognize because the tilted text in this style is still there. Or here I have a variation of the tilted text, or here even not the common tilted text anymore, but still the yellow is enough to recognize my video. Yeah, so that is for active subscribers, but we also obviously want to do thumbnails for new visitors, people who just don't know your channel yet. That is very important. And this is, of course, here very focused on active subscribers, some of those reports. But this here is important for both, for active subscribers as well as for new visitors. You know this grid, right? Here's my thumbnail. And here are the other thumbnails about the same topics. Basically, videos that rank alongside mine. So chances are that a viewer who doesn't know your channel yet sees those thumbnails and have to pick one. I mean, all those thumbnails are about basically the same topic, right? And so they could click any of those, but which one would they click? Does your thumbnail stand out in some way? And if it does, they click your thumbnail instead of the other ones, so essentially giving you a higher click-through rate, and the others, yeah, they lose on it and get a lower click-through rate. So you have to beat the competition in terms of visual appeal, so to say. Yeah, here you don't see much difference. It works well for my active subscribers because it stands out in the sense that people who know my channel will easily see that is a thumbnail from my channel and will click it. But quite frankly, those other thumbnails are really well designed as well. And for that reason, I'm not sure if I'm winning the click here between those thumbnails. But sometimes here, maybe this is more intriguing than the other ones. Possibly. I can't say for sure. It's not very clear here. Here, for example, I stand out in a sense that my thumbnail is cleaner. Yeah, not so much going on. Here's also not much going on. Here's also not much going on. But this is a lot going on. This, I don't even understand what the video is about. Yeah. Here, the text is very small. It's hard to read. You always have to think about that people don't spend a lot of time to look at their thumbnails. So this is not a good idea to have small text, or like here, to help like intrigue people to click your videos. So my video here in this sense at least stands out compared to those top 3 thumbnails, I'd say. So that is the thinking. Yeah. If you want videos to your videos to win the click, to have a high click-through rate, then you have to look at how do the thumbnails from your competition look like? And that's essentially the thumbnail grid. What's the thumbnail grid doing here? So that you win the click over the other videos that appear alongside your own. All right. All right. Any questions? Further questions? Nico, question here. Is the green average bar when looking at your stats based on your level? So channels. Okay, here we grow. Which green bar do you mean? I think you're talking about the keyboard tool, right? Here we go. When we are looking here, yeah. Again, we are talking about YouTube SEO, and here we have these grades. The coloring that you see here is based on the grade that we already get here. And a D would mean that you are at least as good as the gateway video. The gateway video is one video chosen here, which is coincidentally here my own video. So I am at least as good in terms of subscribers, obviously. A C is even more, B even more, and A would be right at the average of the whole search results. Yeah, what the tool does here, it's looking at the top 20 videos. And the average of those top 20 videos is what is shown in the left bar. The same is for relevance, by the way. So the relevance percentage of all the videos ranking here in the details, you can see Daryl Eves' videos is 75% optimized, 73% optimized, 73. My own is very high, 95, 66. 73. So this way it's analyzing the average. And yeah, your own here, if you optimize your video perfectly, you would be at 100% relevance. And this grade then here decides how far you are apart from the average, which is similar here. But of course, in terms of relevance, you see the potential here. How much you actually get in the end depends on what you enter in your metadata, title, description, tags. And I didn't perfectly optimize it. The title is perfect. My description is not perfect, just 17 out of 20 percentage points. And the tags is nearly perfect. So overall, I get a 95% relevance, which gives me a D score because I set myself like 66%, 95%, that is 29 percentage points apart from the average. But if I would improve it even more, 5% extra to the 100%, I would get even a C grade because that would further set my video apart from the average. All right. You know what? Let's go over. I wanted to do a little bit of a channel review thing today. Not fully, but a few channels today. Because let's look at all the different algorithms that you trigger already. Yeah. And let's see what kind of things we can learn from your particular cases. So let's study 2 or 3 channels today. What you are triggering. The condition here in order to look at your channel is that you have Morningfame, an active Morningfame account for at least a week now. Because otherwise, if you don't have that, I don't have the data to look at for your channel. Yeah. So that would be the condition. Sorry for everyone who doesn't use Morningfame yet or only for a few days yet. Sorry, I can't. I just don't have the data yet. So let me know in the chat, Morningfame at review, so I can count you in, and I draw a random number like always in my review streams to pick one of you to look at your data. All right. Leave Morningfame review there. Hi Jonel, how are you doing, old friend? All right, reviews are coming in. Perfect. Let's draw Fico's Beats, how are you doing? All right, let's draw a random number from 1 to 10. 94 was just a previous number or something. Number 10, all right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go around. 9, 10. All right, to FIC Gaming. Let's get your Morningfame account. Okay, let's have a look what we can learn here. By the way, to FIC Gaming is about here we go. Is about Grand Theft Auto, was it right? Yeah, correct. And especially he's fond of cars. This is basically a gaming channel, and what you can see here in the algorithm tab, that is really interesting actually. You are really driving up suggested videos these days. Impressive. 60% obviously, since it's driving up, going nuts right now. Let's see, that's probably because of one video that really kicked off. That is oftentimes that's the interesting part of the suggested videos algorithm, by the way. Sometimes this video is 7 months old, right? 7 months old, and suddenly it's spiking like crazy. I mean, apparently for no reason. That's the beauty of suggested videos. I think that is not so much with home. I didn't see that before that. Home is usually triggered once you upload your video. Although it could, no. It's also the same way that home and suggested have the ability to suddenly pick up the video and promote the heck out of it. And that is what happened here with the muscle car meet here. I think it was a live stream, right? Even a live stream goes off like crazy suddenly, yeah? That is, so to say, sometimes we are talking about triggering the algorithms, right? But sometimes, and triggering the algorithms, let's circle back to this virtuous circle again that I explained earlier today. You have these impressions, click-through rate, watch time, and once the snowball is rolling, you have the virtuous circle getting more impressions, more click-through, more watch time, and so on and so on. And what we want to do, with triggering the algorithms is to create in certain ways via SEO, sharing on social, that's external traffic coming in, impressions from external, so to say, active subscribers and so on. We want to create impressions, and then with a good video, we get click-through, high click-through, and high watch time to trigger the algorithms. This trigger point would be, we go through this funnel once with everything that we do, and then suddenly the algorithm is triggered and does its job basically by itself, right? And the interesting part is that it is not always by design. Not always this triggering is influenced by what you do, but sometimes you just have a great video and home and suggested suddenly picks up your video because it tested it out at some point. We don't know for sure when a video is tested. That's kind of a secret, a black box in the algorithm when it decides to test your video. But when it does, and your video is really great, produces high click-through, high watch time, so that's a reason to produce high-quality videos all the time, ideally, is that when it tests that and determines that's a great video, it promotes the heck out of this video. That's really interesting to see. And sometimes even videos succeed along with it. Maybe this one took off at the same time as well a little bit. Because if you made sure that people binge watch your content, watch more of your videos, then YouTube sees a relationship between those videos. And chances are, if one video picks up, then another video, and apparently it was actually, when we look at all the other videos here, yeah, it was that this video actually got picked up at the same time. So the snowball got rolling not only for this video, which really, I mean, crazy success, nearly 1,000 views per day at some point, but at the same time, this one got picked up as well. I analyzed another case where that happened, and in that case, it was that the successful video in suggested videos had in the end screen a link to another video, which would be this one in this case. I don't know for sure if it happened to you like this right now as well. But chances are, yeah, that this video was in Up Next or something like that in the end screen in a card or something. So if you have some success here, some crazy success, then if you set up your cards, end screen and everything properly, then you can get even more out of that. But even if you didn't set up the cards and all that, the suggested videos algorithm might even decide to show this video in Up Next. So the autoplay plays this next. And you know, it's a win on many fronts. It's really great. So kudos to you that you made it work. That is really an effect. You know, if you place your bets on good videos on that produce high click-through rate and high watch time, then you have this additional, you know, lottery, so to say, that suddenly Home and Suggested might decide to test your video and determine it's a good video and then promote the heck out of it like we just saw. Really interesting effect. You didn't put it in the end screen and cards when it started to blowing up. I see. So it was kind of automatically. Yeah. But ideally, we would set up your videos for success in this case. So if you produce a video, it's really a good idea to always pitch another video in the end of the video, so that ideally you set everything up that you have on your channel, that people ideally watch more than just video on your channel. Because that's how Home and Suggested actually works. It tries to find relationships between videos, so it understands what people watch in a row. Yeah. By the way, the suggested videos and the Home algorithm doesn't do that for your own channel only. It does it across YouTube. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that necessarily it only looks at one of your videos. What of your own videos do people watch next? But it doesn't care about your channel in particular. It cares about maybe they watch another video of another channel next, usually. So suggested videos promotes the video of the other channel all the time next to your video, for example. But ideally, it would be your own videos that they watch next. So use the cards, use the end screen in particular, especially the view end of method that you learned from Brian G. Johnson is really powerful to make that happen. Because then the chances are that the suggested videos algorithm, when you have these past viewers watching your one video, and then the one next video that you recommended in the end screen, they watched your second video next, then the suggested video algorithm sees a relationship between those two videos and starts to recommend your second video next to your first video more and more. Yeah, that's the idea behind it. And the more you do this, the more you improve your chances to trigger suggested videos in particular. That ties into, you know, one video watching the next second video next. That is a small form of, for example, a whole series which people binge watch. Yeah, I mean, if you are a master of all that, then ideally you have a series of, let's say, 10 episodes, and people watch the first one and then all the way through to the 10th episode. But you really have to be a master of that because viewers nowadays expect a lot. They are, used to Netflix quality, and you know how it is with all the cliffhangers and all that, that they make you watch the whole season in one session. If you ideally apply similar techniques to YouTube, you can make it happen there as well. And then suggested videos just will go nuts. It really is the case. Hi, my son's mother. Yeah, the 1 to 4. Let's see if I can get those together. So the question is, what are the triggers for home and suggested? Let me quickly repeat it. We determined that YouTube search, home, and suggested are the 3 algorithms that are worth considering when you optimize your videos, when you try to trigger algorithms. All the other algorithms are either automatically triggered or not worth putting brain power into it. So we focus on search, home, and suggested only. For search, we have YouTube SEO. But what about home and suggested? The first thing is YouTube SEO will increase your chances if you make it do it well in search. Your video is successful in search. And then home and suggested have a higher chance to pick up your successful video in search as well and promote it via home and suggested as well. So YouTube SEO works well for home and suggested kind of in an indirect way as well. That's number 1. Number 2 is active subscribers. Having people keep coming back, your subscribers keep coming back to watch your new videos is the way how you get your initial views to your videos. And that sends positive signals because your subscribers usually are the ones who click through to your video more often because they know you created great videos in the past. And also they are eager to watch the whole video because they are convinced you do great videos. This way, you usually get very positive signals in terms of click-through rate and watch time that are sent to the home and suggested videos algorithm. And then these algorithms pick up your video and promote it to more people. And ideally, they will enjoy it too. High click-through rate, high watch time again. And then it promotes it to more people and so on. So active subscribers are key here. That is number 2. Number 3, oh my God, do I get it? Binge watching content. That's what I just explained. Yeah, binge watching those content, making YouTube understand, in particular, the home and suggested videos algorithm, understand what are the relationships between videos. Yeah. Because YouTube wants to know if a person enjoyed this video, what videos can I show next that they will likely enjoy too? And if you have something set up like a series where people binge watch it, then the chance is high that the next episode of your series is the best one that the suggested videos algorithm should recommend in order to provide something, a recommendation to the viewer that the viewer likely will enjoy as well. That was the 3rd one. And the 4th one, I forgot about it last time as well. Oh my God. Sparks Family TV. Yes, I will look at more algorithm tabs shortly again. The 4th one. Does someone remember? 4th one. Suggested videos. Home. Was it evergreen? Maybe. That's it. I will see in my replay then later. I really forgot it. But evergreen is certainly one aspect. Yeah. If you have a video that is of the type evergreen, yeah, something like how to tie a tie. Everyone needs to learn that at what point and at some point in his, sometimes her life. And explanation how to do that is basically a topic that everyone searches for years to come, will basically never end. How to grow tomatoes, how about space missions that are even 10 years ago. Everything that people are just every time interested, not necessarily the same people, right? If you watched videos about that already, then you might not watch more videos of those type, but there are always new people who never heard about certain topics and are interested in that. So evergreen type content, and that works really well for search, obviously, because you can optimize for search terms that are about this kind of evergreen topic: how to grow tomatoes, how to tie a tie, what space missions did we have on Saturn, for example? And I think that was Discovery 1 and 2, right? Anyway, so evergreen type content works really well for search, and I found out in my study that the type of content, that drives evergreen in a broader sense, that drives constant view each and every day for months, years, the kind of topics that every time new people come to YouTube and are interested in this kind of topics, that works really well for home and suggested as well. If I remember correctly, in home, that makes up 1/3 of all videos that get promoted via home, and 2/3 of videos that get promoted via suggested videos from the successful videos that we all have on our channels. So it makes a huge portion of that. So if you want to do well in all three algorithms at the same time, search, home, suggested, then think about video topics that are evergreen, something that people wonder about all the time. Yeah, of course, there are other growth strategies like trending, focusing on trending things like, we recently had Article 13 on YouTube, was a big topic. Nowadays, no one is talking about that anymore. And since it was renamed to Article 17, even the search terms don't work anymore. So trends, everything, with Brexit or whatever, These are trending topics. Some last longer. Brexit certainly is a kind of already a little bit of evergreen, but in a sense, it's a trending topic. Though those come and go, but evergreen topics are here to stay, and they make up a huge portion of whole YouTube. If I looked at was it 3,000 channels, all their top videos, the most successful videos, roughly top 9 of each channel, and 2/3 of all the videos, was it 2/3 or even 3/4, exerted that evergreen characteristic. So evergreen is really key on YouTube. It is the style to grow your channel. And by the way, is also perfect to take a vacation, because every topic that is evergreen will work all the time and doesn't depend on new uploads to keep your channel running, right? Because very old videos keep driving views, whatever you do, because they are just there, and people keep being interested in. Things to do in Las Vegas for kids. For example, that's also really great. I mean, it will have fluctuation because people want to have, Las Vegas changes all the time. New things are built there, and then people want to search for, new things to do in Las Vegas for kids 2019, 2020 or so. So it's still shifting a little bit, but essentially, everyone who travels to a famous location will look up the sites that they can visit, the hotels, all the fancy stuff that you have there, right? So this is kind of, for example, for a travel vlog, a perfect topic that would be evergreen and also optimizable for search. And again, also very useful for home and suggested, because you have to, in this case, it's not necessarily that they do a YouTube search, but get into the mindset of people who are planning a trip to Las Vegas with their kids. They are starting out with a search, certainly, because they want to know, no question. But then YouTube picks up that, obviously that viewer is currently planning a trip to Las Vegas. And then this gets picked up by home and suggested as well, because that person watches videos about what the person, found via search at first, but then in the recommendations, suggested videos, but also maybe home, YouTube will show more videos about Las Vegas and kids related, And this way, if you have videos about that topic, then you can do well in suggested and home as well. Because that's all what home and suggested actually does in the end. It looks at the interests that those viewers have currently. Yeah, it's also over time. I mean, interests change for a particular viewer all the time. But at this moment, especially, for example, if someone is planning a trip, then it understands, these algorithms understands that interest of the viewer and starts to recommend it all the different videos around that interest, which is, from our perspective, around that kind of video topic. Yeah. Jonel, good question. Opinion about product reviews. Those videos are very well suited for search, obviously, and these are usually the channels that drive most of their traffic, even if from search, even if they are really big. You have a range of channels. Yeah, I showed you again and again this chart, yeah, the setup of where the traffic is coming from for small channels. Here, most search in the beginning, just a little from home and suggested. But the more you grow, the more home and suggested will play an important role. But you have a range, obviously. These are the averages of all the channels that are analyzed. But then you have a range here. Some are more search-driven, some are more suggested videos-driven. Suggested videos-driven are more those who are, for example, travel vlogs usually, or vlogs in general, something that is not naturally designed for search, although they still have a huge portion of search traffic. Anyway, those product review channels have sometimes 80%, even though they are really big, like here, sometimes even 80% of all their traffic still comes from search. So product reviews certainly search. But still, same goes as I just explained for the travel vlog about things to do with kids in Las Vegas. Once people search about a certain product, yeah, if you want to buy a new microphone, you certainly start out with a search term and look for up this microphone, and you look for reviews, certainly, right? But then you watch those videos, and YouTube starts to recommend more videos about that microphone or comparison to other microphones, stuff like this. And this way, your videos also surface in suggested videos and home. So optimizing for search is the way to go, is even more important for product review channels because their biggest share by far comes from YouTube search because of this specific niche, which is really driven by search. And that's the way to go. All right. To FIC, thank you very much. I'm not monetized. But thanks for all your support via the Morningfame tool, by the way. This is my way of sustaining what I do. All right, let's continue. I promised a few research. Let's do 2 more looks at algorithm tabs so we can see a little bit more about the breadth of different how your channels are set up in terms of which algorithms you get views from, which algorithms you trigger. Thanks, Jonel. And leave me in the here here Morningfame review here, and I pick one of you at random. And this way, I look at your algorithm tab, but you need Morningfame to be using at least for a week, otherwise I don't have the data to show. Techie, the algorithm tab is part of the early access program. So if you go to the accounts and subscription settings at the top, you have a button where you can join the early access program. And then you get the early version of this algorithm tab, which, by the way, this algorithm tab is by far not finished. It's just the bare bones yet. The true value of this tab is yet to come. And I prepared a lot for that already. So in a month, maybe, it will blow your minds, I bet. All right, let's do a random number. Again, 10 was the last one. And here we go. 8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Techie. All right, you didn't have the algorithm tab yet, but I have a master key, so to say. Let's see. Once you join the early access program, you will get that as well. It's just a single button click, yeah. And nothing special, because this is basically my way to here, when you go to account and subscription, at the top you have a single button click to get this. It is my way to release features early and get feedback, so I can ripen and improve it before I release it to everyone. It's kind of my feedback process. Okay, let's have a look at just for everyone else to see. He does tech review, yeah, cameras, smartphones, all that. Perfect. We just talked about it. YouTube search is super important for those channels, as I explained earlier. And here we have proof of that. I mean, look at that. Yeah, wow. 8,000 views a day just from YouTube search. You're a bigger channel already, obviously. 30K subscribers. And this is really working well for you. Top products, drive views, evergreen video, like buy the book. Yeah, obviously. This is how it works. It shifts every now and then. This is interesting. Maybe this one will grow over time, 10 months old, going up even more. So you can expect more and more traffic from there. Usually, if you look at this curve, an evergreen video is like this, that in the beginning, when you publish it, it gets a lot of views from your active subscribers. But then it goes down and then slowly goes up again over the month. Yeah. And that's what we see a little bit here, that it's going up and hopefully more and more and more. So it arrives at a point where it drives as many views as this one, which obviously it made it into driving evergreen views very heavily much earlier, because it's only 4 months old. This is 10 months old. So the speed at which it succeeds in becoming like a really big view driver is sometimes faster, sometimes smaller, but usually takes months to happen. Yeah. So usually what you see here at the top of the top drivers for your YouTube search algorithm are the ones that are several months old already. 2 months, which is interesting. This one is probably, you never know if it's driving constant views over time. This one goes down for now. I mean, I can't change. I can't say for you for sure, obviously, but this one might die out over time and not, go up again over time again. Yeah. Not everyone makes it into a constant view driver. Yeah, the thumbnails are really great. That's so true. And these are the ones that really drive the bulk of your channel traffic, obviously, as we can see here as well. And interesting, a special button appears here, which rarely anyone sees. You actually drive views from hashtags, which is quite cool. Not that many, obviously. As I explained in the beginning, I thought hashtags would drive a lot of view. That was all our hopes, obviously, but it turns out no, it's a rare situations where hashtags really do make a difference. And obviously, even though it's cool that you, a few dozen views, drove a few dozen views here, obviously, considering the crazy amount of views that you drive each day, you could have omitted the hashtags as well. So you might consider just to drop them and not, it takes probably just a minute for you to add them, but if you're taking too much time for that, just drop. Don't invest time into them, unless of course you have a very specific purpose, which I explain in one of my algorithm series videos where I studied the hashtags. Anyway, Suggested videos works really well as well. Wow, there was one day which is really crazy. You published it, it's just barely seeable. You actually published it a month ago, that was on this day, and it drove a crazy amount of views at this point, which is, not all is evergreen, like constantly driving views over time, which is oftentimes the case here in suggested videos as well, as I explained before. This is one example of those evergreen videos that exert this evergreen behavior, constantly driving views via suggested videos as well, similar to search. So this is probably one that also does really well in search. Yeah. Here you see. Awesome. Oh, this is the one that actually, which I explained before, is getting more and more views from search, and does the same way in suggested videos. I think this video, as far as I can tell from just these graphs, has a bright future. Yeah, you should observe that. I think it will drive more and more in the coming month even. And as you see, home as well, quite well. External traffic, you probably have a lot of backlinks. Google search at the same time, not so much, okay. But who cares, considering how well it does already in those search and suggested videos alone. Okay. Yeah, you see here a little bit. This is good to see here. Suggested videos works a little bit different. You have these evergreen videos, and then you have these spikes. Unfortunately, these spikes, don't persist over time. Ideally, as we saw before with QFIC gaming, what we see here in suggested videos, it spiked and then continued to really promote the heck out of it. This is not always the case, especially in the beginning when you just uploaded the video. That is not usually the case. So it could happen over time again for this video, that suddenly it spikes again and drives views hard. But yeah, you have to see, right? So that is quite interesting to see. As I said here, also these tech review channels usually drive most of their traffic via YouTube search, but thanks to their nature, most of the time, as you see here, evergreen videos, this one is evergreen, this one is evergreen. So they, thanks to the evergreen nature, even though they already do well in search, that alone is good. But in addition, you trigger suggested quite often as well. As you see here, probably in home, you have also these evergreen type videos too. And here, interestingly, also one spike. Okay, now I wasn't sure in the beginning. Home is working this way as well. That is sometimes suddenly, we don't know how, yeah? But home and suggested have the ability to suddenly decide to test the video. And if it does well during this test, it starts to promote much more, this video. And this is one case where it does. It was uploaded, I think, around here. It didn't do this well in home. I mean, it did well, but it did super crazy suddenly after the algorithm tested the video and now promotes it to many more people. Interesting. Awesome. This really, all green lights. You're really doing well. And I don't know, you came far. I remember we have long time back, you grew your channel crazy during the past years. All right, let's quickly do one more review. Leave me in Morningfame review in the channel so that I can choose someone of you randomly. And in the meantime, what did you say? Indeed, awesome thumbnails. Zero gravity. You have difficulties find a lot of search traffic, especially as a smaller channel. Yeah, good point. If you optimize your videos for search, the most important part is to find search terms that have low enough competition so that you have a fighting chance to actually rank your video. Yeah, you have to consider the competition. That's the most important part. And otherwise, I mean, if it's too competitive, you won't rank. And it doesn't matter how much search volume you have because you don't rank and don't get any of the search volume, right? So you have to ensure the competition
first. And as a small channel, you have to go pretty low, right? As a bigger channel, you don't have to go as low, obviously, because you can face much higher competition. The unfortunate thing is obviously that when you are focusing on search terms that have very low competition as a small channel, usually, not always, but usually that also means that those search terms have low search volume. Because simply as that, it's nothing that YouTube does, because simply as that, search terms that have high search volume are already covered by the big channels, because obviously a big channel, who doesn't want to focus on search terms that have a lot of search volume? And the big channels hog all the good search terms, those that have high search volumes usually already. And naturally, because the big channels do that, you as a small channel face too much competition for those search terms. So you have to find alternative search terms that have less competition, and they usually have low search volume as well. But you have to work with what you got. You have to get your foot in the door. Don't worry about low search volume. Try to find as many search terms with low enough competition, and between those search terms that you found that have low enough competition so that you have a good chance to rank, pick those that have the highest search volume. Even though those that you pick might still have a few, not enough search volume, as a lower search volume as you wish they had, but you have to get started somewhere. The more you rank for those search terms, the more you rank videos for such search terms, the more you drive in traffic, you will grow your channel and gradually will be able to rank for more competitive search terms that usually also have more search volumes, and slowly you work your way up. Yeah, just have the patience. Work your way up from not so nice search terms up to really nice search terms in terms of search volumes. And that's the strategy basically. All right. I hope that makes sense. Let's do another review. I pick another. Number 8 was the last one. Here we go. 4 is the next one. Who is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Just Edie. You're definitely it paid off for you to. I think you're on the live stream since 3 hours, half an hour before the stream started, right? So that paid off. Awesome. All right, we have a small channel here. Let me show everyone what your channel is about. Here we have close to 400 subscribers, by the way, and you do obviously lessons about how to play various instruments, right? Guitars, violin, all that. Awesome. And let's have a look at your algorithm tab. This is an interesting part because now we have a small channel, and someone asked me before, by the way, it sometimes looks unfair that YouTube focuses so much on big channels and seems to leave small channels behind. And this is actually proof. And by the way, you see similarly, even for channels that have 10 subscribers, I'm surprised sometimes, in this algorithm tab, you see that they already drive views from the various algorithms. The algorithms even do work for small channels, and really good work for you as well. Yeah, at this point, those algorithms really kick in. Usually just YouTube search at this point, home and suggested are take a little longer to kick in. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers maybe roughly. Yeah, you can't clearly tell that. But roughly, with 1,000 subscribers, you will start seeing more suggested videos and home views. By the way, let's see. You have, 3.5% home. It already works for you well. Suggested videos, 2%. That's what I usually see for small channels. Yeah, home and suggested have a little bit, but not really that much. It takes a little longer to kick in. But YouTube search and accordingly, since Google search is usually riding along with YouTube search, driving the bulk of the views that a small channel gets, and you're really doing well here. It's even going up, it seems. And you have, nice, 5 months ago, you have evergreen videos, already. For 5 months, it's already driving views, and as you can see here, not many at that point. I mean, you are still a small channel. It's a matter of expectations, right? But you have this evergreen behavior here. And this is a really good point. This is what I would look at for small channels, Search is your foot in the door for small channels. Without a doubt, whichever way you look at it, search is the way to grow a small channel. And if you're doing it right, you will soon see that videos that are a few months old, like you see here, perfect example, that they constantly drive views over time. It's fluctuating a little bit because we are looking at small numbers still, With the small numbers, you have naturally quite a fluctuation. The top here is number 8 for everyone who can't see it. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 views. So it's fluctuating a little bit. But this one is super evergreen. And what you want to do in order to grow your channel is to create as many evergreen videos that constantly drive your views as you can. This and this again is also evergreen due to the fluctuations. You have a few days here and now where you don't have any views for those videos, but this is natural. It's still, you can consider that evergreen, and this will essentially, creating more of those videos will essentially drive your channel for a long time to come, and drive new viewers to your channel. So hopefully these videos are well set up to convert those videos as well to subscribers, because then they stick around and watch new videos that you upload and so on. These are the drivers that really essentially, blow the air into the balloon, grow your channel. Doing more of those is a really good idea. So the idea here actually is what the reason why I created the report. You look at your top performing videos from YouTube search, and here Wiener or Bologna. These are sausage and a bread, not spread, but what you put on your bread. A comparison, obviously, right? And here about playing instruments. You currently have quite a variety on your channel, right? Maybe you can double down on a few of those topics that really drive good views in search, because that's really your foot in the door. So luckily we see here some instruments, because I think recently you decided to focus on a lot of instrument playing, right? As we can see here. So that is your current direction that you have. Try to think about what can you do in order to create more videos about instrument playing like this one, that will become those evergreen videos. So drive videos over a long time. And obviously that's the first proof that it is possible with this kind of videos. So think about this, how you can produce more of those videos, or maybe even this kind of topic, how you can mold it into something similar for videos. Should I play the acoustic guitar or the electric guitar? Some comparison like this. Maybe there is an idea that you can experiment with in order to see if you can do well in search for this kind of videos. And that would be my recommendation. Hi Mike, how are you doing? All right, let's do one last before we wrap up. Leave Morningfame review in the chat, and we will look at one more channel algorithm tab. Of course, you're welcome, Edie. Of course, you need to have a Morningfame account for at least 1 week already in order that I have the data to look at. All right. Okay, now is the chance to have a high chance to get a review because not so many are asking for it anymore. Was there a question in the meantime? So, yeah. Just Drive, I think it was already answered, but the algorithm tab is still in early access, so you can get access in order by joining the early access program. It's a click in the accounts and subscription page. You will find out about it more. Okay. All right. Let's pick one. Hey, Team Kilowatt, how are you doing? Okay, 4 was the last one. Next one is 4 again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Beyond Theory. All right. Let's see. Beyond Theory. Okay, a channel about close to 8,000 subscribers. Space missions is always my example for oh yeah, Mike, I'm at Vid Summit. Let's chat there. It will be amazing, right? Here, space missions, classified space missions, all those. Do you cover aliens too? Human space explorations, space robot. Nice. My cup of tea, definitely. Okay. This is what you're talking about, and let's see how you drive those traffic. Yes, it's kind of, because it's not necessarily a knowledge channel, but also like chat and, a mix between entertainment and knowledge, right? In some sense, I would say. Would that be a correct description of your channel? And the interesting part is you do drive a lot of home views. That is interesting because your active subscribers here are super high. I said 10% of your total subscribers is already really great. You have even more than that. What it is at 15 to 20%, something in between. And it's going down a little bit recently, but no worries. This is reflected in home here, that you have nearly all views are coming from your active subscribers. Yeah. And home is prone to that because you would think that your subscriptions and notifications are your subscribers, usually where they find your new uploads. But most of the time, it's actually home where people find it. And you get a healthy amount of views from subscriptions, notifications, as well as home from your subscribers. Your subscribers are crazy fans of yours. Yeah, crazy fans. So you're doing everything right here. Keep on that because that's so important to eventually trigger suggested videos as well. Unfortunately, it's a little bit weird because suggested videos doesn't work out for you that well, and it's mostly also only your subscribers. Your views from visitors, new people, is quite low. Yeah? For that reason, by the way, yeah, if you want to trigger, yeah, subscribers and visitors, new people, are very distinct people. As you can see here, the way you engage with those two groups is quite different. And obviously, you're doing an outstanding job with your active subscribers. It is kind of unseen, actually. Yeah, I can't stress even enough how well you do with your active subscribers, probably because you have such great storytelling from your video topics. I would assume so. And But the question is, how can you drive in more viewers to your channel? Yeah. And therefore, I did those distinction between top videos from subscribers and top videos from visitors, because you want to know for a particular algorithm, how can you trigger this algorithm for this particular group of people. And here the big question would be, of course, could you trigger the suggested videos algorithm more for visitors? Because that ideally would be a great way to drive new people to your channel, and also at the same time trigger suggested videos more. And the video topic itself is it doesn't matter which algorithm you talk about. The video topic is the most influential aspect of making a video successful, because simple as that, if you talk about the boring video topic, you can do everything that you want, all strategies. People won't be interested in it. Don't produce high click-through rate, don't produce high watch time. And with that, the algorithms won't be eager to promote your video further. So the video topic is really important. And here you can look at which video topics would work better for new people. Yeah, the secret space program, for example. I think that is probably also something that is, via link content. You really do a good job of promoting your videos here and there. Here, apparently, it might be that other channels are linking up your videos, which would be really great. Unfortunately, we can't see that yet here, but in the future, the algorithm tab will even show that, where the views are coming from, who has linked up your videos in the cards and screen and so on, playlists maybe. And you're doing really well in search. So obviously, topics that are doing well in search oftentimes do also well in home and suggested too. And this is a topic that is really well, really doing well for that, because people know what to search for. It's a famous space program, apparently, for people who are into this kind of stuff more deeply. And this is a good topic. It's the same probably for this. This is already also doing for YouTube search. So I think we have a pattern here right away. These videos that drive new people via suggested videos do also do well in search. Okay, we have an exception here, but it's also doing well in search here. So that's a good sign. So if you want to drive more visitors to your channel, then look at YouTube search. Here you already drive plenty of new visitors to your channel. And here you can see these video topics that do well in search. So if you want to double down on driving new visitors to your channel, extend on that, then maybe you can see here a commonality in the video topics that that drive the top views for search for you, and some kind of space programs that people hear about, but are not so well known. Most likely, I think that's more like kind of secrets that you're sharing, telling truth about aliens and UFOs. Maybe that's the famous guy in the, in this fan group of people wanting to know more about Area 51 and all that kind of stuff, right? I assume. So this kind of everything that is discussed in your niche by those fan people who share what they find is probably well suited for search, and will drive you from multiple algorithms, not only search, but also suggested videos and home, those new visitors to your channel, and that will essentially, grow your channel as a whole, right? So very interesting. Impressive job about active subscribers, really expressive. People, by the way, I rarely see such a crazy amount of active subscribers. So if you are interested, check out his channel and watch it to understand further, maybe how he actually engages with his subscribers, how he makes it happen, that people really are super eager to come back to watch each and every new video. Which is, again, I repeat, one of the triggers how to get into suggested videos and home to have a lot of active subscribers. Mike, yeah, it's tough in the beginning, right? To get engagement in the beginning is ideally, I think you're doing business advice, right? And in the beginning, at least it worked for me. So like that, ideally you would start asking questions about the topic. In the beginning, I asked questions, and the first few videos, I barely get any response even to the question. I remember that because then suddenly I got an answer to my question, but it sounded, this comment sounded like out of context. I didn't even, out of context. It sounded like, what was that person talking about? And then there is the thought like, oh, that is actually an answer to the question I had in the video. So it was the first person that actually responded to a question of mine. So I responded, obviously. And with that, the more I was able to get answers to my questions, the more people started responding. I hearted those responses so that other people, there is actually saw that, there is actually a discussion going on about the question that I stated. So they started to respond to that as well. And the more they did, the more they also engaged with the comments of other people. And I responded there as well, of course. And this way, a culture was established that people knew it is worth commenting on my channel. Because on YouTube, naturally, usually putting comments under videos doesn't really have any use because the creators don't respond, other people don't respond. It's really not a good experience to comment on YouTube. But if you establish a culture, and ideally I use the heart for the purpose of bubbling up those comments that are really fruitful, continuing the conversation of the video, mentioning aspects that I didn't mention in the video, for example, which I think is a great addition to what I share in the video. So these are at the top, and this shows people, there's a valuable discussion going on. It makes sense to join the discussion as well. So it's a process from zero to having a healthy discussion going on a channel. Yeah, it can be tough to get this engagement to work in the beginning, but be patient. It is just start asking questions and wait, and then of course respond in a thoughtful way to each and every comment, because at least the active subscribers who keep coming back to watch your new videos, they will learn to know you. They will learn to know you in person. And they are usually also the ones who leave the comments, yeah? It is, I mean, nowadays I get 100 comments roughly for each video, and I know most of them by name because they are usually those people who comment all the time, and I know them. We have a history going back. And this way, there is a healthy discussion going on, new people chiming in every now and then, so it evolves. And of course, for me, really useful input to make better videos in the future, to discuss a new topic that I didn't think of before, to include new features into the Morningfame tool. All that really helpful. So it's worth ramping up it slowly, trying to engage with those people. How can a channel have one video that blows up, but then the other videos are much less in views? Interesting, Just Drive. Really good question. It is... the one-hit wonders happen to many channels. Yeah, you have to think about it like that. If you have an initial audience and they enjoy it, then the algorithm, home, and suggested work this way in particular. They promote your video to more viewers that have similar interests. And if they enjoy it as well, then it promotes it to even more. If they enjoy it, even more, and so on. So it gets the snowball rolling. And if you have a video, in the beginning, everything is not dialed in so much. It's the first video that you do. The editing is not spot on and so on. But in the end, editing and all the good lighting and all that doesn't matter too much. The video topic itself, if you talk about something interesting, something entertaining, is the most important part of it. And you might really do it right by coincidence, by a lucky accident, yeah? With your first video, and you get the snowball rolling and it really blows up. But the important part to get the snowball rolling is that you have this initial audience that enjoys your videos. Usually that is one of two. Your active subscribers, which you obviously don't have as a channel with no videos on yet, or the viewers who find your video in search. And there again, to really optimize your video and rank your video, your very first video for a search term that drives tons of viewers to your channel is not likely. But channels who don't have any videos on there yet have one big advantage. YouTube works in a way that it gives new channels for their first 1 or 2 videos a boost. Yeah. I think it's a mechanism that they created in order to help professional productions bootstrap their channel from the zero in a very fast way. They have everything dialed in, yeah? Editing on spot. They know what is entertaining. I mean, usually they have actors and a real camera crew and all that. Everything, I mean, is Netflix quality, yeah? And they want to bootstrap the growth of their channel right from the bat. And this mechanism to give the first video a boost, and second maybe also, is baked into there. And these professional channels are able to use that to get this initial audience and have active subscribers from the very first videos. And with that, second, third, first, fourth, it goes from there. Just steep growth right from there, thanks to this initial boost. But now look at a regular subscriber who is not, a normal person who does the editing, the camera, everything herself, and is not, this one-hit wonder in the beginning, thanks to the boost and having a lucky accident to really produce a video that resonates with a lot of people is a rather a coincidence. And then the second video, that person doesn't have the same luck. Yeah. And the first video was also only luck and probably didn't convert so many subscribers, because being able to convert from this video new subscribers, gain those subscribers from just one video is really tough, needs a lot of knowledge and experience, which usually only professional productions have. And then the second video doesn't have this boost anymore, at least that much. The video is not a lucky accident anymore. The first video did not drive these active subscribers. And then for the second video, this snowball can't get rolling anymore. That's the fact, And you have to see it like this. Most of the channels don't have this lucky first video at all. Yeah, they just start small. Of course, for the one who has this lucky success for the first video, it's a bummer to go down to a very low level with the second video. But that's actually the normal level for a regular channel who has yet to learn all the skills that it needs to make really successful video, choosing right video topics, making people subscribe, making people watch to the end, having everything dialed in. I mean, what a huge learning curve, right? So yeah, that's the reality, I think. All right. Okay. How can a channel have one video? That was the question. Okay, I think that's answered. All right, I think we wrap it up for today. Next week, I will do a recap of a best of this live stream. I've recorded this stream at the same time, so I can edit it together to a 5 to 10 minute video. So if you have missed some important parts, then you will be able to watch that in the next video that I upload on the channel. So you have the good parts as well. And I think I will do another live stream in a month or two, again, similarly like this one, doing much more channel reviews at that point again, I think, so that more of you have the chance to actually get a review. You know where to find me in the comments, reply to the Morningfame emails. I'm happy to answer your questions off screen, as always. All right. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. It was really a pleasure to have a full room today again. See you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.